Well, elsewhere in Iraq, an attack on a mosque there has killed at least 10. It happened about 80 kilometers northeast of Baghdad in the town of Muqtadiyya. At least 24 others were wounded when that mosque was targeted by mortar fire. Let's get some perspective on all of this. Bring in from Washington, D.C., Ahmed Ali. Ahmed is an Iraqi political analyst, and he's with the Institute for the Study of War. That's a public policy research organization. Ahmed, just listening to all the latest developments out of Iraq, at least 20, 30 people killed in these latest attacks. How much is this going to escalate?
Well, I think it's a very dangerous escalation, especially between the protesters and the Iraqi government, because since the protest began in December of last year, they have maintained a peaceful character by and large. And the showdown was really a political showdown between the protesters and the Iraqi government, and the same thing with the nature of the standoff. Now with this one, with the number of casualties and the reactions that Iraq has witnessed across the country, there's a great fear that the standoff between the Iraq government and the protesters will turn into a military standoff.
The government has come out and said that the security forces did their duty, Ahmed, to impose the law. What do you make of the response by the security forces, specifically in Al-Hawija?
Well, Darine, I think it's the Iraq government has been saying for a long time that some of the protests are infiltrated by Al-Qaeda and Iraq elements, AQI, or what's known as Jaysh Rijal al-Tariqa al-Naqshbandiyya, JRTN. So the Iraq government has been saying that for a long time. However, I think the nature of the operation was very severe, and as we have noticed from the reactions from figures in the United Nations and the United Nations representatives in Iraq, that maybe other peaceful means could have been pursued to solve the issue and handover of those who were alleged to have taken part in an attack on the Iraqi military last Friday in Al-Hawija.
And Ahmed, at the same time, we are hearing reports as well that 2 Sunni cabinet members have resigned, and they resigned in protest over these specific actions by the security forces. So what does this mean for the makeup of the cabinet and Nouri al-Maliki?
I don't think it practically changes a great deal in the cabinet for Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki, because the Prime Minister has been able to consolidate power and run the state of the country as a strong Prime Minister. What it does, however, is remove any semblance of inclusiveness in the Iraqi government, because both ministers are Iraqi Sunni ministers, and including them in the government has provided Prime Minister Maliki with cover to say that my cabinet is not dominated by the Iraqi Shia. It rather is an inclusive cabinet.
And let me just finally put this to you, Ahmed, because there's been a lot of talk recently, as you know, that the crisis in Syria could spill over to countries, and the former Prime Minister of the Kurdish region, in fact, has written this: Iraq-Syria dynamics could merge into one fight with dire consequences. Is this a statement that you agree with?
I do agree with it, and I think there are fears, especially among the Iraqi Shia, that the fall of Bashar al-Assad might lead to the merging of the conflict between Iraq and Syria.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much. Ahmed Ali joining us from Washington.